Okay, I want to thank those who are attending my speech tonight. My husband Rick, my friend Becky, and my daughter Melanie. Thank y'all so much for coming. Can you imagine a young person going to their mother and say, "Mom, I know what I want to do with my life. I want to be an example for God. I want to be an accountant." Well, I've been in the accounting business for 42 years, started when I was 16 in high school. I had not once mentioned that to my mother in that way. But you know what? I can use my occupation as an accountant and use that platform to be able to share God's value. My purpose for speaking with y'all today is that I want to share with you how I can use my accountant occupation as an example of sharing those values that are important to God. And first I will be discussing with you a controller's position, their educational requirements, their responsibilities, and I'll also be sharing with you what some people think of accountants. And finally, I will be going over some examples that I have been able to use in my life as showing God's values to others. First of all, salary.com says that employers require at least a bachelor's degree or higher for a controller's position. And and then also at least 15 years of direct experience, which is quite a bit. And then also, the responsibilities of a controller are being responsible for all accounting procedures. They set up policies, they set up initiatives, they set up principles, they do everything that has to do with accounting. They also do financial reporting. And they report directly to top management and give any recommendations that are needed to help enable their business to be successful. And so from that, but then you know what, with that saying, there are a lot of people that do not respect accountants. And from a poll back from December 2011, it was a Gallup poll, they asked the people, what do you think of the honest and ethical standards in each of these occupations? And I've highlighted in red the accounting. And these people are supposed to say, these are for the ones that thought they were high or very high opinions of these occupations. Well, if you see accounting, only 43% of the people had a high or very high opinion of accountants. That's not good when they're handling your financials. You really want to be able to be confident in your accountant and trust them. There are a few reasons that people might have a negative feeling toward accountants. One of them is the Enron effect. The Enron was a scandal from the stock market scandal back a few years ago. And it's quoted by Judy Mueller on an article that she did under ABC News. It's called Enron Fallout Hits Energy Firms from February 2012. She stated that accounting firms are trying to convince customers that they do not do business like Arthur Andersen, the firm that failed to blow the whistle on Enron's troubles. Another possible reason that people have a negative view of accountants is an article that was written for Strategic Finances called A Penny for Your Thoughts. Mueller, Bonson, and Martin were looking at a study that was done in 1995 to 2009. It was 8,300 companies were looked at, and 53% of them were rounding up their earnings per share to the next dollar, even if it was only 20 cents. That really misleads people as to the value of the company. So that's a very good reason why people might not trust accountants. Now I want to give you some examples of how I have been able to use my occupation, actual examples. Here I have two values that are from the scriptures, of God's values. I will let you read those. And as I'm going over my examples, the first thing I have been able to do is whenever I find something wrong, some errors that have been financial errors in the business, whether it's myself or someone that works in the company or someone outside the company, anything that has affected the finances of the company, I will find out what happened, I will fix it, and I'll make sure it doesn't happen again in the future. And then I will go directly to the top management and tell them. I will not try to hide it. Of course, if it's only $1, that would be different, but I do not try to hide things like that. Another thing that happened recently was a sales manager had asked me to set up corporate rates for a hotel in the area for some trainees that would be coming into the area. And he told me to tell them that we'll be able to have 100 nights a year. He said, we won't really, but just tell them that so you'll get good rates. I said, no, I cannot do that. That's just not me. And another thing that I make sure that I do is procedures. That's my responsibility. I need to set up procedures to make it to where there's no temptations for myself or any of the employees to be able to be dishonest and take from the company. So those are just a few of the things that I've been able to do during my years as an accountant. Now, in summary, I have been able to that I've showed you about what a controller's positions and responsibilities are. I've explained to you how the public might view an accountant, and I've also given you some examples. Now, accountants might not be high on the list in regards to trust, but there are many ways that we can do to improve the respect that accountants have. Now, so if you're looking for an accountant, and just remember, they may be one of those that are like me that want to use their occupation to show God's values, and then maybe they'll develop your trust. Thank you so much.